nation to hold those who murder and rape. Because they're fed up reading the media about an ex-prisoner escape. And I go fix up all those high prices that most Grenadians can't afford. Instead of demolishing those poor vendors' booths along the side of the road and leave them balling with them out close. Oh God, baby, Jesus is of the blows. Grenadians balling with them out close. The higher the monkey climb is more we expose. My people balling with them out close. Oh God, and this is of the blues. My people balling with them out close. Mr. PM, please open up some doors. Why the hell food prices gone up so fast? Transformation in we mass. The people balling anyway you pass. Transformation in we mass. You only looking out for the upper class. Transformation in we mass. You don't care if the poor ones are to eat grass. Transformation in we mass. Hey. Oh, yo, yo. Oh, ballin', ballin'. Politics, politics. Me closest neighbor stop tell me howdy. All because of politics, politics. Friend and family turn me enemy. I just say yes, I love the progressive sciences hotel making last suggest. But then I remember John Thomas was the one who led the protest. But now we robbing up the same white boys like a bed bug in the night. But just remember the local workers and make sure that you treat them right. Don't leave them balling with them out close. Oh God, baby, Jesus is of the blows. Grenadians balling with them out close. They say when you're poor is when you expose. My people balling with them out close. Get it? Oh God, baby, Jesus is of the blues. Grenadians balling with them out close. Be careful with the tons when you're picking rows. Why the hell you remove the cap from the gas? Transformation in we mass. Now what in me tanky can't even last. Transformation in we mass. But you driving wrong in dark tinted glass. Transformation in we mass. When I start to talk you say in a fast. Transformation in we mass. Hey. Politics, politics. You say hush me mouth cause all talk is cheap. I still talking politics, politics. I would never take me death like a sheep. Was up in Grenada, Senator came right up to me ears like he afraid to talk. He said the little work that he get in Cultural Foundation, they take it back. And how we wish he could have take back he vote. Cause that is one thing he regret. Because apart from all those gallant feds, yes, he they do nothing yet. Grenadians balling with them out close. Oh God, baby, Jesus is of the blows. You support us balling with them out close. But the higher the monkey climb is more he expose. My people balling with them out close. Oh God, and this is of the blues. Grenadians balling with them out close. What we going through only heaven knows. Why you riding wrong on such a high horse? Transformation in we mass. And the big rentals don't care what it costs. Transformation in we mass. If you love this song, well raise up your glass. Transformation in we mass. If you don't like this one, is there you come last. Transformation in we mass.
Well, I know about John Doe, but I never heard about Olan. Maybe that's his brother. They say his name is Olan, and he is the PM right hand. Is he making all decisions as to how this country's governed? People want to know where he come out, so with a son named Doe. Him they never knew. Olan doesn't care about poor people. He do as he please. Maybe he's a PM too. Tell me, who send home them Imanis? And who take back the monies? Who running all them vendors? Poor people trying to make $1. Every decision, every law that pass, Mr. Doe in charge. Olan is the boss, the boss, the boss. They say he's a very fierce skin, very fierce skin man, but I don't know him. But where he come out, sir? Jubilee celebrations, 50 years of Grand Oak.
And good night to you, Grenada, Carriacou, and Petit Martinique. Once again, it is time for Talking Points. My name's Sheldon Scott. I'll be here with you up until the 10 o'clock hour.
Freedom.
It's now 7 minutes after the 8 o'clock on the Spice Isle of Grenada.
News come out and say, no music can play, no session, no way. All I made it clear.
Saying a special good night to all of you listening via social media. Those of you listening via Facebook, those of you listening via YouTube. We say an exceptionally special good night to each and every one of you. It is the Friday night forum. Tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend. Talking Points is on.
Just like some independent zombies. Every decision, every law that pass, Mr. Doe in charge. Olan is the boss, the real boss. Well, and where you get all this power from? Is he the people vote for to lead? Where you come out?
Yeah, just making sure all my levels are level and everything is where it's supposed to be. Yeah, you know it's a Friday night, so you know our means of getting in and getting out are different. Eh? But don't worry, we safe.
One man holds so much different positions. They say his salary is about 30 grand a month.
And folks, we've got to keep our eye on the weather. Tropical depression number 2. As of the 5 p.m. advisory for today, its location is 9.1 north, 41.9 west. Winds 35 miles an hour, movement westward at 21 miles per hour. Barometric pressure at 1,007 millibars.
In which ministry they function.
And it is showing chance of development over the next 48 hours.
Are they not running next election? Every decision.
The projections are that by 2 p.m. tomorrow, 2 p.m. tomorrow, it should be around 45 miles per hour. The estimation is that at Sunday, at 2 p.m. on Sunday, it will be 75 miles per hour. And with it crossing 100 miles per hour winds by Monday, 2 p.m. So far, the track has it going between, let me see, that's between St. Vincent and St. Lucia. But we have to be careful. We're still within the zone that can be affected by it. Even if it doesn't hit Grenada, the possibilities that we're still within the zone that can be affected by wind and rain and so on, yeah. So we've got to be careful, yeah, make sure that you have your supplies. Well, it's hurricane season, so you are supposed to make sure that you have your hurricane kit in place.
How to win. And after that, all you can do are thing.
And again, as usual, as we always say on Talking Points, it doesn't mean panic and head for the hills. No, it means that be on your guard, Be careful. Make sure your documents that you have to secure properly, secure them. Yeah, things that you have to secure properly, secure them. You have overhanging branches and so you have loose lumber and galvanized and so in your yard that if there are any wind events that could fly about and either injure or kill or damage, you need to secure those, yeah?
We want kids, we want kids. Man, the country balling it sick. We want kids, we want.
So whatever you need to do to secure your home, your business and so on, your place of recreation, you need to get that done, eh?
The old talk, listen to them. Every day is blah, 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 blah. That alone, and they can't.
So again, from what I'm seeing here, at this point in time, winds 35 miles an hour, location 9.1 degrees north, 41.9 degrees west. Moving westward at 21 miles per hour.
Be careful.
The barometric pressure at 1,007 millibars.
I'm like the whole country and a halt.
And that's as of the 5 p.m. advisory. So there, that will change by now. But that's the 5 p.m. advisory. Still recent enough for you to, yeah.
The bushing program, or you cut that too. Oh, people, sir. 600 million, as they say you have. Why you still?
Come on, you share the thing, share the thing. I want to see 100 likes there, no time, man. Come on, yeah, share the thing. I want to start talking. We have other things to talk about, eh?
Change it blowing in the next direction. Man, the wind of change it blowing back where he came from. Hear the people out on the street. We want kids, we want kids. Man, they say they're tired, they can't take it. We want kids, we want kids. All you know.
And I'd also like to take this opportunity to thank each and every one of you that have been making your little donations, whether it's a $5 or $20. The people who are donating even $1. Some of the people pass by Cami, they say, Auntie Cami, that is all I have. I given $1. We'd like to thank you all so very much from the bottom of our hearts. We'd like to thank you all so very much for your support. Yeah, it means a lot to me and to us at the Talking Points families. Not just about me. I keep telling you all, it's not about me. Eh?
The wind turn around.
So those of you that can, please do. Those of you that can't, continue praying, huh? Auntie Sylvie, good night to you. Millie Gemlin, Bussy Maitland, good night.
Too high. CCC coming back, that was a lie. Big lie. Plenty people now, they living like back. Friend to see ya meet a man when he pass. They say they can't wait for another year. Keep playing your deaf and all you can't hear. Listen, but
well, them ministers only were 1 month off. So what kind of thing going on with them ministers and them? They want to be taking a month off. They feel it so.
where he came from.
Well, I mean, a month with them away from a ministry don't really make a difference, you know, because they're not making a difference in the ministry anyway, so they could afford to go away for a month. But remember, they are retained as ministers to perform specific duties. And as such, your minister just disappearing for a month. Come on. Auntie Glow, we hear you asked to go, girl. We hear you asked for a month and you don't get it and you vex. Were you vexed for, girl?
But it's like they end up with more problems.
Good night to you, Saskatchewan. Good night to you, Alberta. Toronto, Ontario.
Listen, sir. The wind turn around, sir.
Once the whole of Canada. Good night to you. You know, let me play something from this year, yeah? Because we had to talk about Spice Mass in a while too, you know.
Yeah, man. But you know it's the original fireman.
This one is Papa Jerry for the year 2024. As I say, share the thing, man. I'm looking for a magic number. Once we hit the magic number, we start in the conversation on various things, eh?
Say that is because
Shane Ross, good night to you, bro.
the island
Lucy Joseph.
from the
My St. Lucian listeners, oh my dear, you all may say that I'm forgetting you. No. You all know I love St. Lucia and you know I love St. Lucian people. You all know I love all of you. Eh? Whether you're in Grosley, you're in Laborie, wherever you are in St. Lucia, you in Soufrière, wherever you are, I love you all, yeah?
to get more wealth.
Dennery North, Dennery South,
And who suffer
those of you down in Castries, Babino.
achieving. The slogan will be
Man, I like St. Lucia. No, sorry, let me change. I love St. Lucia.
so I want
They are our Caribbean brothers and sisters.
will there be a time
And I know my St. Kitts people go be upset. No, St. Kitts, we love you all too. Huh?
and when you
corruption trying to raise the head. Will you stamp your foot on it, my brother? Try to kill it dead. You apply for a work, you well qualified.
And let me say a special good night to the diaspora listeners. Let me clear something out of the air early, because I've been getting some calls today and some messages and different things like that. There's some sort of nonsensical, idiotic, and totally untrue statements being circulated in the Grenadian diaspora in New York. Let me put an end to that one time. This nonsense about me having been in court yesterday. Listen, yesterday I was in my last son's graduation. There are various people. I did the vote of thanks. I did the vote of thanks at that graduation. So I was at a graduation, and there are several people that can attest to the fact that I was at a graduation yesterday. Yeah? But all you so want to see something like that. So the day he was in court yesterday. Yes, they have him in court yesterday. To those of you who are concerned, no, I was not at any courthouse yesterday and so. Yeah? I was not at the courthouse yesterday. I have no court matters. Right? Every now and again, every month or so, I go up to the courts, and it has nothing to do with any existing court matter. Right? But you hear them all. He was there, and he had on, I don't even own a green tie. They give me green tie and all. No, they say he had on a suit and a green tie. I don't even own a green tie. Strange enough, considering it's me. I don't even own a green tie. But he was up there yesterday. And also, if all you don't know, hush all your mouth. The bad all you're wishing on people going to come back on all your 50 times over. All the wicked and evil things you all wishing for people going to fall back on you. I goat mouth, you know. What chance? Yeah, it's not prophecy. There's goat mouth. Steady. I just had to get that one out of the way earlier. A bad goat mouth. Stop wishing bad for people. All right.
But you have a 14,000.
I don't have the gift of prophecy. I have goat mouth.
Isn't that corruption?
Some people have prophecy. Some people have goat mouth. I have goat mouth.
Promotion because of party affiliation. Won't you tell me? Isn't that corruption? So corruption, let's get rid of it. Corruption, the country will benefit. Won't you help me? Get rid of corruption. Corruption, let's not sell we soul. Corruption, let the truth be told. Won't you help?
Yeah, and I think I get to the number looking just about there.
Yeah.
Folks, hit the like and share button. Yeah, just hit the like button, hit the share button. And programming note. Let me just let you all know as well, we will not be doing the Friday night program every week. It is a bit challenging. The Monday to Thursdays, that's okay, but the Friday night program is a bit challenging for various reasons. And what I think we could do is do it every other week instead of doing it every week. So you will have Friday night forums, but we won't have it every week. So we'll try to have it every other week because, as I said, there are various challenges in relation to that. There are certain things that I end up having to do and so that I would not have had to do otherwise. Originally, we had the programs from Monday to Thursday, and we added the Friday night program because many of you said, well, look, no, we want the Friday night program. And sometimes, as we could realize today with some of what I'm going to play in a while, things happen on a Friday morning or a Thursday night that we want to speak about before you go into the weekend. So we have the Friday night forum. So we are going to do the Friday night program, but we're going to do it 1 week in, 1 week out. So twice a month, right? So 1 week in, 1 week out. So next week, we will not have a Friday night program. The following week, we will. All right. The only way I may change that is if there's an issue that I think is so important, or that not just me, because again, this is not about me. If you all believe it's that important, then we can go ahead and we try and force it and do the Friday night program. But we're going to do 1 in, 1 out. All right. Good night to you out there in Brooklyn. Yeah, man.
Let's not sell we soul.
So tell them up in Brooklyn they are talking about who was in court yesterday. I wasn't even wearing nothing. I had on a nice blue shirt. and I had on our black pants.
Let's get rid of.
And I had my little son, and we went to his graduation yesterday. He graduated out of preschool. Not something necessarily I believe in, but he graduated out of his preschool. You know, look at children. They go and they do the little poem and they look at things. Nice. So I was there yesterday. And just to let you all know, that is where I was. So those of you that are worried, because I know some of the listeners to Talking Points, they've been worried. Oh, we hearing this and we... No, I wasn't at no court yesterday, no.
People get ready. Cause the green...
They say when you dig in pit, dig two. All right.
No bad.
A word to the wise is sufficient. When you dig in pit, dig two. All right.
People get ready.
All the bad, all you're wishing for people, go fall back on all you have. Never in my life had people that wish bad for me or try to do evil to me and remain unscathed. Yeah? All right. And it's nothing to do with me. You know, I don't do nothing to them. Touch not the Lord's anointed and do his prophets no harm.
Now this house is...
And I ain't saying I'm anointed. I ain't saying I is one of his prophet. I just saying don't do them thing. Right?
We got to fight. You gave nothing but disrespect and neglect. Through representation you forget. Representing the rich and mighty.
All right, folks. So we had that one out of the way.
For majority. But
now remember, let me just put a stop to the music in the background there. Now remember, earlier this week when we were speaking about Spice Mass and the Spice Mass board and some of the decisions that are being taken, we said to you all that some of those decisions are being made as conflicts of interest. Yeah? There are conflicts of interest. No, not conflicts. Conflicts of interest. In other words, there are individuals who can gain, who can benefit in some tangible way from the decisions that they make from the decision making. In fact, the Integrity in Public Life Act speaks about that sort of thing. Not just that it is happening, but the perception of it happening. Corruption is not just an actual act taking place, but the perception that it is taking place and setting up the mechanism for it to happen. And as it is right now with the Spice Mass board and the chairman of the board, there is the perception among quite a number of people on the island of Grenada that a corrupt act is taking place. Questions are being asked as to why the particular measure that speaks to any show after the 8th having only two foreign acts in it, which we know contravenes the CSME and so on. So it's absolute nonsense anyway. They can't enforce it. Promoters, they cannot enforce it. Don't bother with them on that. Do your show. Whatever you do. Come and send police and lock down the show when the artists go on stage. You just have to know how to do it, but do your show. Studying them and that nonsense. Because if you look, I've been looking at social media and I've been looking at some of the comments that are being made by many of our local artists. I've been looking at the comments that they've been making. And they are very concerned. Remember, right now, today, I saw this release coming out. And let me pull up the release. You know, we like to say and play and we like to show what it is that we're speaking about. So let me see if I can just quickly... Wow, all of that thing open there. Bonjour. Yeah. So, yeah, let me just see if I can show you this one. Right? So it says here, vibes with and oh yeah, I didn't pull it up for you all to see. I pulled it up for me to see. Right? Vibes with Voicey. Right? Vibes with Voicey event cancelled due to Spice Mass Corporation imposed restrictions. Now, folks, this is the same show that we spoke to you all about. This is the same show that takes place on a carnival, was supposed to take place on the carnival weekend, on the Saturday, that has now been postponed. Meanwhile, a show that is directly associated with the chairman of the Spice Mass board. Even if he take the name out of the business, all Grenadians know, it is a fact, that he was one of the brains behind Pure White. They know that. That's not a if, what, or but about it. It's a known fact that he has been one of the people behind that particular show. Now, during the period that his show is taking place, a decision has been made that all shows between the 8th to the 13th of August can only have at the most 2 foreign artists. Yeah? At the most 2 foreign artists can be involved. Now, with that restriction, many of the people who were going to have shows have decided, boy, I feel, because they were looking at bringing in 2, 3, 4, sometimes as much, bring in some artists. Give the local artists the opportunity to meet, to perform with, to be able to go and stay and perform on the stage with this person or that person. Right? That opportunity has now been taken away. Vibes with Voicey was not a show that was only being done in Grenada, This is a show that has been going to different carnivals throughout the region. They didn't have this problem in other territories. Grenada, as far as I know, is the only country that they have this problem that they have to actually cancel the show. So in Grenada, it was being done by C4 Promotions. And you see the statement there. It was a heavy hat. C4 Promotion Grenada announces the cancellation of the much anticipated Vibes with Voicey. Those who purchase tickets will receive a full refund. Information regarding refunds will be issued in a subsequent broadcast. If I was only doing my show, but that is me afraid people are doing it. But you never know. Only me afraid, right? So they said further here, since our initial announcement of the event, Vibes with Voicey has faced significant challenges from entities and regulatory bodies. Regulatory bodies can be nobody else but the government. So they have faced significant challenges and fight back. Because you have someone who is in charge of the regulatory body that has interest in a show that's taking place at the same time on the same night as Vibes with Voicey. You have other well-known Grenadian promoters who sought to have shows on Saturday night as well and were refused permission. You have other promoters who knew months ago that this decision was going to be taken. Meanwhile, the decision was announced this week. So you have people that knew before, hey, boy, make sure and go and do your show that time, do it before so and such a date. You have people that have had that information, hearing that before, which is unfair. That is corrupt. And that is unfair. That is insider trading. Yeah? You have other individuals who are directly attached to that show, that pure white show. And again, I am not saying this to tell people don't go in the show. Let me just make it clear. I have no horse in that race. As just putting out the facts as they are. Yeah? So if people want to go, I would never tell people don't go by Brother Daigo. I would never tell people don't go in pure white and jump up in the mud if you want to jump up in the mud or whatever it is. I will never tell folks that. I am just stating what the facts are in relation to this issue. And the facts are that at least 2 individuals who are carrying out duties on behalf of the Spice Mass Corporation are directly involved in that show. Not the Voicey show, the pure white show. And as such, when you see the individuals that were trying to do this regional show, this show that after they do it in Grenada, let's say they go to St. Lucia with it, or they go to St. Kitts Sugar Mass with it, and then because they saw this young artist in Grenada, they say, well, okay, let me bring Muddy with us. Let me grab a Vaughn. Let me take Dash and Boise and bring them with us to St. Kitts. So that the artist who at that point in time may not be doing anything here in Grenada gets the opportunity to go. But no, because of selfish, greedy intent by specific individuals attached to that organization, sue me. Because of selfish intent. Remember, corruption is not just the act, it is the perception. Yeah? The perception that a corrupt act is taking place. So these individuals, and I'm making a fair statement here, have done everything possible to ensure that this other show ain't take place and refuse permission for other shows. And if you are, you see, It goes back to things like the Minister of Finance being involved in a CBI company. It goes back to things like the Prime Minister being involved in a CBI company. It goes back to all of that, because there are these serious conflicts of interest that are taking place under this administration, that if they had taken place, if these things had taken place 3 years ago, not 2, 3 years ago, you would have seen people with placard marching in town calling NNP corrupt. But because it is taking place under their administration, people like Sandra Ferguson had nothing to say. And don't tell me nothing about sick, because they're reproducing all sorts of things in the newspapers. If they're well enough to do that, they could be well enough to talk on these kind of things taking place. Because they had a voice and they had enough things to say when the new National Party was in office. But now, all of a sudden, like mutitis take them. They get a serious case of mutitis. So they mute on these things. They have nothing to say on this direct conflict, openly. Conflict of interest. You have people that handling logistics and all different kind of thing in the Spice Mass, directly involved with shows during the Spice Mass period. Blocking shows that other people have, while the Spice Mass board blocking shows that other people had. And I'm saying to the promoters, you have a right to go ahead and do the show. You, the artists who are going to perform, these people, through the CSME, these people cannot be stopped from coming into Grenada and perform. Because they can take a case to the CCJ, and the money that they would make in performing in Grenada, they might make 3 times that, if they are barred by the Spice Mass Corporation. And who you think going to end up having to pay? The Grenadian people. Not the people who on the Spice Mass board, the Grenadian people. So this company, the C4, they have cancelled that particular show. That's just one that we've heard about so far. Because of what has been put in place by the Spice Mass Corporation, they've had no choice. And we told you that was the intent, to get rid of that voice, that voicey show. And they refused, they bluntly just refused permission for others to have the show. They refused. You can't have no show. Yeah? So there's a direct conflict of interest. Don't give us the thing that, oh, you were part of the organization and you've stepped aside from the organization now and therefore there's no conflict of interest. No. If you're still one of the beneficial owners or shareholders, even if your shares have been put in trust, or if you're fronting people, fronting people. Just remember, the chairpersons and deputy chairpersons of all things like the Spice Mass board and all boards of directors are supposed to submit to the Integrity Commission information in relation to their financial transactions over the 2 years prior to their appointment and continuing, including all transactions of shares, all transactions of cash in large amounts and so, buildings, property, vehicles, etc. That has to be submitted to the Integrity in Public Life Commission, Just remember that. Because somehow you feel that people don't know the law out here and don't know what's going on. You know why I know that? Because I was in Parliament when it was put in place. The Integrity in Public Life Act was drawn up by the new National Party administration in the year 2007. Let me repeat that for those in the back of the class that may think that I've just made a mistake and didn't hear me clearly. The Integrity in Public Life legislation was drawn up by the new National Party administration in the year 2007. It stayed right there. All who was talking about transparency and accountability never touched that act. They're talking about who are integrity and who are transparency and anti-corruption and so. But the legislation that was drawn up by the new National Party, that they simply had to take and, as Mr. Killer would say, run with it. They did not. It took the new National Party to come back into office 4.5 years later, well, 5.5 because it was 2007, to put that legislation in place. And it was one of the first pieces of legislation to go before the Parliament when the new National Party came back to office. So who have more integrity? The people who talk integrity and transparency in public life. The people who talk about that, but let the law sit right there for the entire term in office. Or the people who as soon as they came back in office, took that law, took the bill and made it law. So it is law right now that you have the Integrity in Public Life Commission, that you revise some of the roles of the ombudsman. Yeah? It was the New National Party that did it. And it was Dr. the Right Honorable Keith Mitchell was the very first person to go before the Integrity in Public Life Commission and make a declaration. And he also made a public declaration. This Prime Minister, who people talking about this, that, and the other, or they could talk about Dr. Mitchell and say, well, how much assets he has and so on. Or they must find out from this Prime Minister if he's willing to make a public statement and say how much money he have. You all might be very surprised. Yeah? Find out from this Prime Minister. Not one of them on this team who currently runs this country has made a public declaration and say, this is how much money I have. Dr. the Right Honorable Keith Mitchell, he said, I ain't afraid to say that. He come out and he said, the members of the New National Party, each and every one of us, because I went before the Integrity in Public Life Committee too. Each of us submitted our information. I still have my certificate that cleared me totally. I have my certificate as everybody else. But we are the ones that they call corrupt. Meanwhile, you can't tell anything about them. Some of them didn't even want to go. In fact, you ain't even sure if all of them have submitted. That's a question I must try to get answered. If every minister under this administration has presented their documentation to the Integrity in Public Life Commission as required by law, and if each and every one of them have been cleared, because you will remember a situation in Trinidad and Tobago many years ago when the late Bas Deopande made declarations, and it was found that he had made a false declaration because he did not put down one of the bank accounts that he was holding in the UK. And that caused him to get locked up. He get locked up all kind of thing over that. Because he made basically a false declaration to the Integrity in Public Life Commission. Yeah, so there are consequences. If false declarations, I'm saying this in the context of those who run in and buy land in St. Mark and all over the place. Those who know that the government of Grenada is about to do a project in a particular place, who are closely aligned to the leadership of this country, those who are going and buy up land all over the place because they know government doing a project and they know government is going to need that land as part of the project, so they're using that information, insider trading, and running and purchase the land to sell it back to government at nearly triple the price. We sit down here and we know that going on outside there. So all you realize that going on, all you must check the Gazette. All you must check the newspapers. See which land government is acquiring. Then find out about the lands that are adjacent to that land and adjacent to the land that is adjacent to that land. Find out about that and find out who are the beneficial owners of those properties and find out how recently those lands were purchased. And you would realize some of the corrupt acts that are taking place under this administration right now. You don't hear them talking about Integrity in Public Life Act and all those kind of things. They ain't talking about that. But they come in to call other people corrupt. And Dr. Mitchell was the first one to face the Integrity in Public Life Commission. He's the only one that has openly admitted what he had in his bank accounts. Yet still he's the one that they come in to call corrupt. Meanwhile, some of them have millions sit down in their account and they have nothing to say. They have millions sit down in their bank account. Some of them in the ruling party and government right now. Some of them who had next to nothing in the bank account, all of a sudden, the bank account's straining. It's straining under the weight. And when you check what they have in their bank account and what they have in the bank account of close family members, I'm talking tonight. When you check what they have in the accounts of close family members, you realize something up. You realize something is up. And just remember, the integrity in public life law is very clear. It's not just the money you have in the bank account, you know. It's if you have cash money home too. No matter the currency. If you have cash money home too, you have to declare that. Because in some countries, people keep, what they say, a travel bag. They keep some money, and so in case they have to leave in a hurry because of a natural disaster or so on, you have to declare that too. The integrity in public life law is very clear. All who like to call people corrupt, come forward and tell the Grenadian people what your assets were on the 22nd of June. Yes, I know election was on the 23rd. On the 22nd of June, 2022. Tell the Grenadian people what your assets were like at that point in time. Tell the Grenadian people what your bank accounts were looking at and your credit union account were looking like at that point in time. And then tell the Grenadian people what your bank account and your credit union account looking like now. If you're in thief, if you're not involved in corruption, if you're not involved in getting a look at 10% here, or illegally getting loans from the GDB, if you're not involved in any of that, you shouldn't have a problem coming to the Grenadian people and say that. If Dr. Mitchell didn't have a problem coming and say it, you shouldn't have a problem coming and say it. And all you're calling him all kind of names. Well, sure that all you better come out and say with all you have. Yeah? We have a caller online. Yes, I am taking calls. We have a caller online. Hello, good night.
Hi, good night, Sheldon.
Good night, my dear. How are you tonight?
Hi there, Sheldon.
All
Sheldon,
right.
I'm hearing a rumor.
A rumor? Mm-hmm.
And it's coming out from New York.
Mm-hmm.
They say that they arrest you and take you to court day before. And they're saying that they hear it on GBN.
They heard that on GBN?
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Well, tell them pull the clip and circulate it.
I listened to the news night before on GBN, and I listened to the news on MTV, and I heard nothing like that. Right? I heard nothing like that. So I don't know where them in New York get that rumor.
Well, it is a rumor, and I'll say this, as I said, I think you may have joined late because I did address this a little while ago, and I said to them clearly where I was yesterday. Day before, where was I? I spent most of the day at home. I spent part of the day in St. George waiting for my son because he was preparing for the graduation, and due to the fact at the hour that he had to go to the training, and when he was finished, I didn't bother to leave town and go home. I stayed around town. I was in the market square. All the NDC people see me there, all the NNP people and all the people who don't care about no party see me in the market.
You had on a gray suit and a green tie.
I don't even own a green tie. I don't even own a green tie. All I will say again to them, my friend, is what I have said earlier. When you dig in pit, dig two, and careful what you wish for people, you might get it back tenfold. The person wouldn't get it, but you might get it back tenfold. But I don't want to focus on me.
They're really focusing on you. You might somebody special. Sheldon, good night.
Good night, my dear. Yes, I'm special to my late mommy and my late daddy and my late grandparents. I was very special to them. Very special to my brothers, my sisters, my aunts, my uncles. I'm extremely special to them, my cousins, my nieces, my nephews, my children. I'm very special to all of them. That is who I need to be special to, and I'm special to all of you that are listening to this program right now, or you all would not have been here. Folks, 4407377. You can call us on the WhatsApp or you can call us directly. Yes, you can call us on the WhatsApp or you can call us directly. And 347-329-3101. You can call us on that number as well if you want to get on to from the international line. Good night to you, Richard and Paula. Hope you're having a wonderful night tonight. And folks, we must say, yesterday, I saw going on to this, that, and the other, I did not say a belated happy birthday to our original soldier of the Talking Points crew, Mr. Nimrod Olivier. Yeah, Mr. Nimrod Olivier, we must give him a special big up. You understand? Because a man always there when Talking Points call. Before we could finish, say, Nimrod Oliver, give us a call. We can't even finish the word call. The phone does start to ring and he call. So we say a special good night and a belated happy birthday. And we hope that, well, we know if yesterday was the birthday, that means yesterday, today is Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So it's a whole weekend. Yeah, a celebration. So we are late, but we still saying belated to you. Mr. Nimrod Olivier, our good brother, the talking points man himself. Yeah, Mr. Nimrod Olivier, a special happy birthday to you, brother. Yeah, folks. So a lot of them like to talk about corruption and all. A lot of them like to talk and say corruption, this, corruption, that, and all kind of thing. Yeah? Don't throw stone when you're living in glass house. And that's what you said the other day. Don't throw stones when you're living in glass house. Because none of all your water don't clean. None of all your, none, zero, not one of all you sitting in the cabinet of Grenada water clean. None of you have the moral authority to talk to anybody. None. None of you have the moral authority to cast aspersions at anybody. Yeah? Me no plumber, me going up on no side street for no pipe. I know what I was talking about, you know. Right. None of them have the moral authority to talk to nobody. Yeah? None of them. No man can say I send no screenshot, take no screenshot and say I send message to them with this and that. No man. You understand? 440, let's take this call. We have a call online. Hello, good night.
Hey, good night, brother Sheldon.
Good night, sir. Go right ahead.
Well, Sheldon, the truth hurting, it's hurting a lot. Because you have some people find out when you call the programs that we speak about one thing. And the one, if you say we speak about one thing, what we speak about is the truth. And we go continue speaking about the corruption and the wickedness that this government is doing to the people of Grenada, Carriacou, and Pitman. We go continue speaking it, and we will make sure we will make the corruption and other things that this government is doing, we will make it the road match in our country. And that road match will be last until this government come out from our apps. We will continue to speak about it, and that will be at the road match, the corruption that this government is doing in the country. So, Brother Sheldon, that's what I have to say tonight.
All right. Thank you very much. 440-7377. And let me just remind you all of this activity.
Grenada. Get ready as the new National Party invites all to its 40th anniversary fundraising bingo event. Sunday, July 14th from 5 p.m. at Victoria Park, Grenville. Over $100,000 in cash and prizes to be won. Imagine you can win a Suzuki Ignis hybrid car, $50,000 in cash, plus other fantastic prizes. Tickets are $60 for one or $100 for two. Free buses will be available island-wide. Don't miss it, or you might just see your neighbor driving a Suzuki Ignis. Sunday, July 14th, we're heading to Victoria Park in Grenville for the new National Party 40th Anniversary Fundraising Bingo.
Yes, indeed, folks. Just remember, it's the fundraising bingo of the new National Party taking place right there on the 40th anniversary bingo, and it's taking place on the 14th of July. Also, remember, folks, tomorrow morning at the Resource Center in St. George in River Road, right, the Honorable Peter David, they've got that breakfast sale taking place there, and it's starting at 6 a.m. $20, you get the kind of meal itself, right? And on the menu, there are fry bakes, baked bakes, fried plantain, saltfish sauce, tossed salad, fried chicken, fried breadfruit, sausage, boiled eggs, saltfish cake, and cocoa tea, local juice. And so they have Tanya log for 5, Tanya log for 10. So again, Tanya log for 5, Tanya log for 10. All right, so that's taking place, the Honorable Peter David and the Resource Center. They're having that activity tomorrow morning at the Resource Center in River Road. That's right by the office yard itself there. Nice, right. Go on out there. The lovely ladies and gentlemen will take exceptional care of you. Tell them Sheldon send you, and they might give you an extra bakes. Just remember, when you go, say Sheldon send me, and they go throw a little extra bakes on the thing there for you, right? Nice. Let me go and drop my flower for Brother Peter so he can make some extra bakes. So that's taking place tomorrow from 6 a.m. Folks, remember the town hall meeting that is coming up, and it's going to be taking place at the American Legion Hall, 1130 East 92nd Street, and that's going to be taking place on July the 14th from 5 p.m. And on the platform will be Dr. the Right Honorable Keith Mitchell, and he will be flanked by the Honorable Emlyn Pear, the Honorable Peter David, Senator the Honorable Nolan Clocks, and Mr. Dwight Hosford. So you can join them at that activity. Yeah, they'll have a lot of national issues to discuss. You'll be able to ask questions and receive responses, etc., in relation to various happenings in Grenada. All right. Also, remember the new national. You know what? Let me play this one, man. Yeah. Let me pull that. So, let me play this one for you. They have a nice ad. I could play the ad here instead of just thinking so. Let me pull where the ad be. Yeah. I think that's the ad there. Right. I think that's the ad there. Let me play the ad. Yeah. Let me see if I could get it to play. Nice. Yeah. So let me see. Nice.
The New National Party New York Support Group invites you to an exquisite evening of elegance, a formal and all-inclusive affair, Saturday, July 13, 2024, 9 in the evening. Music by DJ Jude and DJ Small Clothes. Tickets $100. Experience delightful entertainment, fine dining, graceful dancing, and lively auction. All at the Legacy Loft, 9302 Ditmas Avenue, Brooklyn, New York, 11236. Former Grenada Prime Minister and NNP political leader of His Majesty's opposition, Dr. the Right Honorable Keith Mitchell, will be the guest of honor, accompanied by Dwight Hosford, MPs Emlyn Pear and Peter David, and Senator Nolan Cox. An evening you will forever remember. Contact Cathy 347-262-6818. Wendy 917-602-1476. Aisha 917-520-3164. PD 917-642-7187. Or Sharon 862-234-0879. The New National Party, the pride of Grenada.
Yes, indeed, folks. 440, I just missed a call. 44073. I think the caller is calling back. Hello, good night. Hello, good night. Hello. Let me see if I do this. Hello, good night. Yes, we're here.
Hello.
Yes, ma'am, you're live.
Good night, good night.
Yes, ma'am. How are you?
Yeah, Miss Camille. Yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
I send a thing for you, Miss Lady in America, as if you could throw it out for. I don't know if you
yes.
get it on your phone.
I got it, but I didn't put it out yet. So I'll put it out in a short while.
Please.
Yes.
That's strong NNP supporter, you know.
Of course. So I'll put it out for a short. And Cami, that's a good thing you're calling, because you know I nearly forget it. I didn't put it in the folder with the other activities. So let me do it now.
She's listening. All of them just listen out there.
Yes.
If you get a chance to go, just give her himself once. Thank you very much. I'm just reaching, you know.
Oh, goodness.
Trouble for us. I closed up all but we couldn't get boss.
Yeah, I saw that when I passed through town.
We couldn't get boss. I had to walk all out. Trouble. Yeah. Anyhow, good night. And Patty and Matthew, good night. Yeah.
I know that they're listening.
I'm going to give you some saffron and milk they know.
Okay. Yeah. All right, all right. Thank you so very much. Well, you will give us a buzz back. All right, thank you.
Yes, darling. Good night.
All right, thanks. 4407377, and Cami is referring to, let me see, where's the activity? Yes, here it is. Yeah, Diamond and Pearls, the garden party, and that's happening on the 6th of July. That's next week. $80 all-inclusive tables, and it starts from 7 a.m.? No, 7 p.m. to 1 a.m. Is that it? Yeah. The tables, you could get it at $30 while it lasts, and that's at 13450 161st Jamaica, New York, 11434. And for more information, you can call 212-729-3491. So, ma'am, you see, I do the thing, eh? Nice, right. So that's Diamond and Pearls, the garden party. And it's from 7 to 1 a.m. And it's July the 6th, $80 all-inclusive, the tables. $30 while it lasts there. So 13450 161st Jamaica, New York, 11434. And for more information, you can call 212 729-3491. All right, yeah. Well, you have to help people, yeah. I mean, you have to help. And folks, tomorrow morning, one more before we go into some clips. And we're about to go into some clips. So tell everybody, if somebody going and fall asleep, make them wake up. We're going into some clips. All right? Yeah, we have to play some stuff. Nice? Right. So before I go into that, though, I can't do Brother Oliver that I must mention the activity. Brother Ollie! The new National Party St. David's Constituency branch invites you to an all-day fete, breakfast and lunch on sale, solid by the office grounds. That's taking place tomorrow. And it starts from 6 a.m. until breakfast, only $15. And lunch at a little $20, you get your lunch. So that's taking place. You'll get barbecue chicken, pork, all sorts of things. Nice salad. Right, check them out. So that's taking place at the new National Party St. David Constituency branch out there in Lassa, just at the office grounds. And it's the all-day fete. They're having breakfast. They're having lunch on sale. So you can go out there from 6 a.m. until, so if you're coming down early to go into town, hopefully not to vend on the sidewalk because let's see what's going on with them. Right, if you're going into town, breakfast $15, lunch $20. So we're looking forward to that one tomorrow as well. All right, I think I've been through all the activities there. Right, we through all the activities and thing. Time for us to go over to some clips and so now. Now, folks, very interestingly, this morning I had the opportunity to view on the Grenada Broadcast Network the To The Point program. I tend to like to look at To The Point and Beyond the Headlines, although Beyond the Headlines takes place while I'm on air. When I get home, according to what some of them I just don't bother with, but according to what it was, I would try to look and so on. In fact, I spend a lot of time actually looking at these programs, whether they're an hour, 2 hours. Sometimes it might be an activity 3, like the town halls. They're sometimes as long as 3 hours long. And you've got to sit there and listen to all that's been said, because a lot of lies are being said in those things. Like this week, we had that lie where the Minister of Finance was saying that he did not. Well, number one, he said the economy, everything good with the economy. The other thing is where he was speaking about government is consulting on the pension issue, that they are doing consultations with the various stakeholders in relation to that. In fact, let's play that one for you.
Consultation process that is going on right now, especially on this particular issues with unions, like the general public, financial sector, and so is there a consultation process that is going on?
Yes, there is a consultation process. Some may want to say, okay, well, the government is doing its own thing and so on, but there is. Yeah. We are a committed group of persons who run this country that wants to ensure that there is peace and stability in this country, and we would do nothing to basically stop the stability of this country.
Let's talk a wee bit.
Yeah, when they say they do nothing to sting the stability, what they mean is they're going to try to destroy the union so the unions can't destabilize, the unions can't have strikes and that kind of thing. But while he is saying that they are having consultations, we have the President General of the Public Workers Union only this week as well on the narrative program speaking on the same issue. Let's say if he's saying that they're having consultation, yeah?
Union is this. We have not been consulted in a meaningful.
Mr. Grimes, what you say? You all, what has happened with you all?
We have not been consulted in a meaningful manner. We have heard declarations in town hall meetings, in interviews by leading politicians, or people within the cabinet and so forth. Let me just be frank, specifically the Prime Minister of our country. So he's making those statements and he's saying, look, in October, we're going to introduce this legislation. Imagine the Grenada Public Workers Union, who has the largest stake in this, regarding its constituents, did not know of this until we heard it there. What will the pension reform look like? We are talking about workers having to pay a percentage of their salary, which is an additional tax. And most of the workers in question would be low-salaried workers.
So, folks, you have the president of the Public Workers Union saying that no consultation has taken place in relation to that issue, or very little has taken place in relation to that particular issue. You know what? I want to hear this morning while I was listening to GBN, and for some reason, all of a sudden, GBN was off from Facebook and they was off from YouTube, and they was off from all different things. Soon as the public relation officer of the trade union start to speak, boom. I ain't saying it happened from GBN, but somehow something happened and they went off totally. Yeah? And then I had to use other means later on to try and get, I think they post, I think, to YouTube and so on afterwards. But that was a little later on. But I was still able to capture part of what was said by the president, not the president, but by the public relation officer of the Grenada Public Workers Union. And let's hear Sister Daisy Hazard right now.
And I have to say threatening because we have not been duly consulted and properly consulted as the primary stakeholder.
No, Sister Daisy, no, that's not what the minister is saying. The minister say, and folks, and we hear the minister say consultation is taking place, but the president of the union and the public workers union's public relation officer are saying that no consultation. So who they consult with?
And I have to say threatening because we have not been duly consulted and properly consulted as the primary stakeholder that any sort of a pension reform will affect. You see, pension reform is not a public good. Pension reform is the business of the entire nation because the nation, the state of Grenada, employs the 5,000 plus of us who are public servants. But it's not a road. Everybody is not going to traverse pension. It is the 5,000 plus, the few Grenadians who work with the public service. We are the ones who will be affected by, and who were affected by 1958 or the lack of it for 40 years. And now you're coming around again to threaten that. And again, I say threaten because the consultations that should have been had with unions from the very start, that has not taken place.
No, sister, no, I think you just end by saying something that the minister basically saying that all your line, eh?
And again, I say threaten because the consultations that...
The what? Sister Daisy Hazard, let me hear what you're saying there?
Again, I say threaten because the consultations that should have been had with unions from the very start, that has not taken place.
That is not what the minister says, Sister Daisy Hazard. Sister Daisy Hazard, the minister was on just Wednesday, you know, you're saying the minister lying? Are you saying that the minister is lying?
Had with unions from the very start, that has not taken place.
So the consultations have not taken place. One more time, Sister Daisy, you want to hear what you're saying?
Coming around again to threaten that. And again, I say threaten because the consultations that should have been had with unions from the very start, that has not taken place.
So that has not taken place. So the unions don't know what consultation that the minister is talking about. We have to be very concerned. Lying to the Grenadian people seems like as though it's becoming a sport right now by these individuals that hold the corridors of power. Yeah? It seems as though they have gotten certificates in lying and liology. Yeah? But let's hear further what Sister Daisy Hazard had to say in relation to the present situation when it comes to this pension issue.
That is proposed, and the DPA did send a document to us sometime in March and ask us to give feedback. What do you mean? Where were we at the conceptualization of that document? But we have written to the DPA and we received word from the DPA. We received a response very quickly from the DPA this week, and we will be having a proper engagement with the DPA to discuss that document. But what that document is seeking to do immediately is to renege on and push aside 1958 in a way that does not promise to deliver to workers a pension that is more favorable, because 1958, our Constitution, Section 92, speaks to the 1958 pension, and 92.4 also says to you that if a worker has to receive another pension, if another type of pension replaces 58, it should not be less favorable. What is being proposed in that document is definitely, from union's point of view, less favorable. We've also asked our stewards and other workers to take a look at it, and it is definitely not more favorable. And we've heard all the concern in the public, which is a regurgitation of the concerns that the previous administration shared. But when the previous administrations articulated those same concerns in the public for years, this same NDC NDC administration, then the NDC party, repudiated, rejected all of those concerns. And so how is it now 2 years later?
Sister Daisy Azad, they wouldn't like where you say that, They would not like where you say that, because you're basically reminding these individuals and the Grenadian population that the position, the policy position that this NDC administration is now adopting is the same policy position that the New National Party was speaking about, saying that, hey, there needs to be pension reform. And at least in the instance of the New National Party, they interacted, they asked the unions come and sit with us. Yes, the unions didn't go, but at least they reached out to the unions and they didn't come and say, well, okay, we're doing that and we're putting it by this date. The New National Party asked the unions, listen, you all know, as well as we know, that you cannot go and give everybody in the public service the 1958 pension. It just cannot happen. But at least if we're doing a pension for all of these people, come and speak to us, they may get something close to the 1958 or along the lines of the 1958 or whatever it is. But at least come and speak with us. Let us come to an understanding. This government, October, we putting that in place. Don't worry, we'll talk to the unions after. That is the approach. Daisy Hazard, they wouldn't like what you're saying. You know these people. All right.
Which is a regurgitation of the concerns that the previous administration shared. But when the previous administrations articulated those same concerns in the public for years, this same NDC administration, then the NDC party, repudiated, rejected all of those concerns. And so how is it now 2 years later, or immediately on taking government, you have said, well, we can't pay it like that, we have to reform? And let me just give the public one example. I see you want to ask a question, so I'll stop.
No, I was going to ask the October implementation of it. How feasible is that?
Okay, so I'm going to give one example.
Let's hear that.
The very last page, or one of towards the end of the document, it speaks about pension fund being managed by a board of directors. Now, the Grenada Constitution protects pension in the consolidated fund. And it also says that if there is another fund, it should also have that sort of a same protection. I'm no legal mind, but I can read, I have common sense. Now, we see the boards that are running around this country mismanaging. We see the boards that are running around this country.
Like the Spice Mass board, Sister Daisy, mismanaging. Just making sure. The GDB board, mismanaging. Okay, just making sure.
Creating chaos.
What about the National Lottery Authority board? Those are the kind of board you're talking about? Okay, just making sure.
We can tell you about TAMCC. As a union, PWU, we engage with all of the statutory bodies, and we can tell you about boards and people who come into position and come in and begin to work on a board and believe that somehow their party's mandate is the remit of the board. And so you can come into the board and begin to try to function in the board as if you think you are the general secretary of the party on the board. Of a board of directors, as a chairman or deputy chairman of a board of directors. And so for me, as a worker who is already covered under 1958, because I've earned my stripes, I can claim my 1958 any day. But I have a responsibility, we have a responsibility to ensure that generations of workers, that workers who are out in the cold now can claim their 1958 properly. We also have a responsibility to ensure that Grenada does not have to be embroiled for another 40 years again in a pension debate because something is done about our pension and not done properly, and opens itself to debate and to perhaps adjudication.
So, folks, what she's basically saying there is that one of the recommendations in relation to the new pension scheme that government is proposing, one of the recommendations there is that they are going to put a board of directors who is then going to administer that fund. And she's saying that the Public Workers Union is against that. Yeah, even though the government is saying that the workers will have a representative on it, we know what's going on with the NIS board and workers' representative now, isn't it? We heard Brother Andre Lewis speak about that several times. Yeah, we heard Senator the Honorable Andre Lewis speak about the worker representation on the NIS board several times. And what she's saying there is, while yes, you're saying that you want to do that, But when come time to actually do that, it might be a different story. These people may say, well, all the money that's inside there, we're going to invest it here to double the funds or whatever. Next thing where they invest it collapse and all the workers' money gone. So she's saying that what they would prefer is something similar to what is being done with the 1958 when the money goes into and comes out of the consolidated fund. So there are various aspects to that. And she called them out because Dr. the Right Honorable Keith Mitchell, when he spoke and said the exact thing that they are saying now, that if you go and you make everybody in the public service permanent, and then you have to deal not just with the payments for those people, and that is one thing, that is a small aspect of it, but the gratuities and pensions for these people in the future, that you could bankrupt the country. They take it and twist it to say, like if he was saying, if you pay the pension payment that the court adjudicated that you must pay to the workers, that it going to bankrupt the country. That is not what he was saying. He was speaking specifically to the issue of if you apply the 1958 pension to all the people in the public service now, whether on contract or off contract, that you would not be able to sustain that. That would be unsustainable. The same people who sitting in office now cost him. They cost NNP. Or NNP wicked. They don't just pay pension. Just give workers the pension. Just give pension. No. When the opportunity is there for them, after 700, today 730, how much days now? Let's just make sure. 736 days. So now, after 736 days, which are days that they won't get back again, that is days less for them in office, that gone. They ain't getting those days back. But 736 days in office, these individuals, all of a sudden, their stories start to change. They change the hymn sheet. The songs now in the proper order. They change the hymnal. So when you're looking for song 44, it's actually song 32. They change the hymn sheet. So now they are using the hymn sheet that the New National Party was using all the time and telling the Grenadian people, because they are admitting that it was the truth. That when it comes to the issue of pensions, the New National Party was correct in the approach it was taking. Because now they are trying to take the approach that the New National Party was taking. So she is calling out the hypocrisy of these individuals in relation to that. She's calling it out. But Sister Daisy, when you go and you call it out, you have to look out, because let me see what has happened when you think them thing there.
Sir, we do have another caller. Caller, good morning, you're welcome.
Yeah, good morning. Your guest, Daisy, has that right. I think Daisy has a need to be more team with herself. She's too bacchanalish, and I think from Daisy is too much negativities. Daisy, last NDC thing, Daisy never make a day walk. She pretends she's sick. And every time he says she should come and drop her grandson at school, so she needs her nephew or whatever. And when NNP won the last election, she was up and arms. Daisy and them is too opportunist. That's what she cannot get what she wants, because she wanted to be a PS and she did not get it. I'm a retired teacher, so I'm not afraid of nothing. Daisy must learn to have respect for this government, and what she should do, get her members to vote NDC out. If that's it, that's all she has to do. Not come in there and jump in and wave or not. The government has done anything. They're trying their best. They made this country into a lot of mess, and today Daisy has not want to come and public open them out. Shame on you, Daisy. Take another trolley because you get left. Bye.
Thank you, caller.
How they acting so?
Not answer Miss Romaine. What I would say to her is,
that is who, Daisy, that is who?
What I would say to her is, happy campaigning.
No, I want to find out. Let me pull it back a little bit. I think it's wrong here. Yeah, Daisy, let me hear who is that there.
Take another trolley because you get left. Bye.
Thank you, caller.
I would not answer Miss Romaine.
Miss who? Let's make sure.
Thank you, caller.
I would not answer Miss Romaine.
As in Orlando Romaine, the advisor to the Prime Minister, as into Mr. Orlando Romaine, mother? That's the person that call and acting like that there. Teacher Mary, that you? I make all the voice proper. I wonder, Teacher Mary, that can't be you, man. No. Teacher Mary, that can't be you. Yeah.
Well, I know about John Doe, but I never heard about Orlando. Maybe that's his brother. They say his name is Olan, and he is the PM right hand. Is he making all decisions? son name though. Him they never knew. Olan doesn't care about poor people. He do as he please. Maybe he's a PM too.
I don't feel that can't be the caller son that Sheldon Douglas singing about it. No, that can't, because when you're on the creative industry is you. When you have the diplomatic posting, and so you're getting paid there, you're getting paid creative industry advisor in relation to different things, and you chief cook and bottle washer, yeah? Then if it's so, well, I mean, parents have to protect their children. So if they cost Daisy, they cost Daisy. I mean, what we going to do? They cost Sister Daisy? No, girl, you touch a wrong nerve there, girl. Hey, papa, yo. Yeah, Daisy, nah. You have to careful, girl. You have to careful, girl. Yeah, you go and you ruffle some feathers. You ruffled some feathers. Yeah? And let me see what else, who else call. And just now, we will come back to the phone lines just now, you. I know all you think, and I'm not ignoring you all. I'll come back to the phone lines just now. Let me just hear this one. Now, where is it? Come on. Oh, yeah, I just realized I hit the wrong button. Yeah, so let me get here now.
Entertain them in this segment. Let's take our first caller. Caller, good morning. You're welcome.
Hi, good morning to you, GT, and to Miss Hazard. She's being the kind of labor union person she can be, and she has to stick out. But I would like to ask a question. Now, how many of the challenges that she has highlighted are new? How many of the threats to her members are new? I'm also hearing from her, and I've heard in other circles, that some of the problems that the members are facing are actually the result of the behavior of some of the other members of the union who work in the same places with them.
So one, that caller, who we all know is Jude Bernard. We know Jude Bernard is a waste of time, no intellect, just talk for talking's sake and try to sound intelligent. We know. But he trying to say that this thing was happening before. So if she spoke about it before, because NDC is in office now, Mr. Jude Bernard, she mustn't talk about it. Why you, Mr. Jude Bernard, don't talk about the robbery, the illegal activities taking place at the Grenada Development Bank? Why you don't talk about that? Why don't you call for the resignation of any minister that has illegally obtained monies from the Grenada Development Bank and for the board of directors to resign? Why you don't talk about that? Yeah, you know why? If it was under the new National Party, you would have it like a road march on every radio program and every forum that you could find. But because it's your NDC in office, yeah, your NDC, sycophants like you, and brown nosers like you have no other thing to do but attack people when they talk out. Let me try the phone lines now. We will come back to Sister Daisy and that just now. Oops, we have a caller online. Hello, good night.
Hi, good night, Sheldon. How are you?
I am more than fine.
All right. Well, they're really looking to see you going. You're going quotas. Like they're really looking to see you going jail, Sheldon.
Well,
Sheldon, they better start digging the pit, eh?
My jail closed already.
They wind up going on in that pit, now. Hold on.
My jail closed already.
Yeah, but they really want to see you go down. I don't understand what to these people on them.
Dig to pit. All right.
All right. Have a good night, Sheldon.
Same to you. Thank you so very much, my dear.
And let them know that we love you, Sheldon.
All right. Thank you so very much. All right. You have a good one. And we have a call online. Hello, good night.
Hello, good night, Brother Scott.
Hey, how you doing, bro?
Brother Scott, I'm watching your clips and I have one thing to say.
Mm-hmm. Don't play more clips.
The union have a part to play in all what's going on in Grenada. The union is the one who never sat down with Dr. Mitchell and the NMP to solve this problem. The union is the one who caused NMP to lose the election because the union support everything against the NMP because they thought the grass was greener on the other side. Dick Mitchell came down that October and fall inside of a party. He was never a member or anything. The union support him 150%. The union pushed everything against NNP. And today, the union is sitting there now and trying to say they do me this and they do me that. They don't do you nothing. They didn't do you nothing. You fight hard to bring down NNP. And today now, when the...
Hello? Hello? Oh boy, it seems as though we've lost my good brother there. He'll call back. Yeah, 440-7377. They talk and the lawyer messaged me one time. Just make sure, tell them that you're a big time lawyer. You know? Oh, goodness. Hey. Hello? Okay, we seem to have lost them. Give us a call back. 440-7377-34. Hello, good evening. Hello? Hello?
Yes, Senator Scott.
Yeah,
yes,
yeah,
I got out.
yeah, go right ahead. Yeah, complete. Yeah.
Senator Scott, just follow it. Just go back, and I know that has happened. I said that to folks before. We will put ourselves in a monkey pants, and we don't know how to get out of it. Now, the union can talk about striking and nothing. I listen to Mr. Grimes. He's trying to stay away from that and stay away from this. But in 1976, 77, come to 79, we was on the street like children. You know what I mean? Fighting against Gary. Right? They know that. You understand? So now, when we have to get back and do the things that work out in 76, 77, up to 79, we're trying to restrain from it. We're trying to restrain from it. Because the only how that problem will be solved, the union has to be front and back in this to get this thing situated. This situation under control. Because Sheldon, we have a problem. Because what Dick Mitchell and his government is doing, trying to say these people they're fighting for is not in the union. That is the case they're trying to make. Outside here, that's what we're getting down in the basement in New York. So they're trying to say there is not in the union. So that's why they go put the union under manners. You understand? This is not your people. So listen good and follow it, Sheldon.
Mm-hmm.
There's more to come. Have a good one.
Thank you so very much, my brother. 440-7377. We have a call online. Hello, good night.
Hello, good night.
Hi, good night, caller. You're live. Go right ahead.
Yes, first time caller on the program.
Oh, thank you so very much. And don't make yourself a stranger. Make sure you call again. But go right ahead.
Yeah, I have a question about the union people.
Mm-hmm.
Now, my question is, does the union represent construction workers in this island?
Well,
people like plumbers, electricians, carpenters, people on those work the hardest, they receive the most amount of tax. And like they don't respect them, they give them the least amount of money. And I find the people on them who fighting and getting benefit is people like working in the ministry, teachers, people are basically they do nothing much. I mean police officers. I mean people are just talking in time when other people have to do the hardest set of labor. So my question is there a representative on behalf of the construction workers that really represent the workers on the Chowdy Island? Because that would have been a nice thing, and for President there should be some type of formulated or calculated system in place for these people. And if we are talking about all these benefits, we see teachers, we see ministry workers, we see all kind of other people benefiting from this. We see doctors, we see lawyers could go in a bank, take out loans, do this, do that. You can't see a carpenter do that. You can't see an electrician do that. You can't see a plumber do that. You can't even see the man who even build in the house. You can't see do that. So that is my question. Does the people who say they represent the workers, does they really represent the benefit of the workers? And if doing so, what benefit does these people have? Because I think construction work is one of the most going things in Grenada. in terms of building hotel and all kind of other things. So that is basically my question. I think Mr. Alibaba is supposed to answer some kind of question.
I respond when you have,
and most of the conversation I've been with her, she has been talking those questions. So I wonder why. Because it seems to me like a lot of things they sweep it under the table. Like when they had the last Suggestions Hotel issue when they wasn't paying the workers down there, they sweep it under the carpet by, that went on a big news. And they sweep it under the carpet by paying certain people. And do you know that they send these people home and they rather rehire other people than continue having the original workers that was there, because they just don't want to pay them the extra money that they take them for hour. And sometimes that makes me wonder, well, what are we really doing in Grenada? If we benefiting, or if we pulling and tugging, or if we trying to be smart, or what's really going on?
Okay.
That is the question I just want to know, because I mean,
well,
you make me wonder what's really going on here.
I'll respond when you hang up. No problem, my friend. All right, thank you so very much for your questions, and feel free to call again. All right, thank you. Now, what I would say is this: when it comes to a union, now you need to have a poll taken at a workplace. So you may have workers working at a particular facility. They've been working there for an extended period of time, not a short term, but they're working there for an extended period of time. And they may decide that they want to unionize. Now, the union would have to come in and take a poll. They would inform the employer, but they come in and they take a poll, and workers vote as to whether or not they would like to have that union as their representative. Now, the Public Workers Union has been around for many decades. Technical and Allied Workers Union, Grenada Manual and Mental Intellectual Workers Union, and the other unions. It may be interesting if the tradesmen may want to form their own cooperative or union, which can then be a representative for them to not only to government, but also to employers in relation to their crafts. So the plumbers, the electricians, the carpenters, everybody come together and they form a union. Yeah? So that anything that has to be done, if you want to increase your rates, if you want certain working conditions, etc., outside of an individual worker just going to the Ministry of Labor, if there's a union, you have representatives who you don't have to go personally. You speak to your shop stewards, they speak to the others, and they go to the ministry to represent you. So it may be interesting to look at sorry about that caller, you can call back, where they can look at the possibility of that, putting together a union. Yeah, or there are existing unions and individuals may be able, I'm not sure on the procedure if an individual wants to join an existing union on their own, like TAU or whatever, but probably you can look into that as well. We've got a call online. Good night.
Hello, good night, Sheldon.
Good night, my dear. How are you?
Sheldon, I sit down and listen to that program. That is one of the most interesting programs tonight. After the past month or two, one of the most that is my opinion, right?
Yeah, no problem.
Right. The only reason why I say that, when I look at what's taking place with all these things this present government doing, I'm talking about people like Alston Croydon and all the people who go on program and say all kind of thing. Eh? Pastor Sanford Simon, all these people are them. What love Grenada. What used to show interest in Grenada. And so much of thing. They investigating nothing. They go and they run them out and say, Kid Bishop, come with a briefcase of money and go and do all kind of thing. Eh? Investigate up to where they can get a coup. But the coup is right there. The government taking taxpayers' money while they put in the bank and giving it away to encourage them. And nobody will say nothing. Didn't you and your Louis, even the Daisy had all them people are them, they say nothing. But even Kid Mitchell, they say Kid Mitchell go and get the money. And he said the money is his. Right? But the money what they're taking now is Grenadian money. People want money what they inside. I don't work overtime. And when I watch me overtime, they make me feel that I shouldn't work overtime to build up this country. And And they're taking all that money, all this person going, so all this money and them, the overtime money that people work in to build up this country to a higher level. They're taking all this money and just stripping it with it. Understand? They have to stop this stupidness. And I'm calling on the union now. I'm calling on the new union now to do something about it. You understand? Anytime we have a union meeting again, I will ask the president of the union in town, because that's my representative, the president of Angel Lewis, I will tell him why he doesn't let me out and say something. Because I am the one who tried to bring down Kit Mitchell and his government. The union helped NDC come into power. They work hard. You understand? And now is the time. After this, they don't want no investigation. And some course they don't going to do nothing. Because, let me tell you something, sheldon. You see that president that will come and talk now, the vice president, he has got to come. Brian will come just now. Because they promise them a lot of things. And they're full of it. So when they hear they can't get it. Because if Andy get 2 million, Rato get 1 million, and Brian Gonzalez had to get a share because Ireland was in ground meeting to bring them LNP government. You understand? So what going on now? You have more to come, and what you will see. They will forget if they have anything about you, about phone. They will have to fight for themselves. Take what I tell you. And I will call you and tell you, it's start. About the day and a half, I will call you and tell you, children, what I said, it start now. Because Prime Minister Dickon Mitchell, no nothing about politics. He had the same woman I called a while ago, she's son, and then who boost up Dickon Mitchell to be a Prime Minister. Dickon Mitchell never wanted to be a Prime Minister. And that's why you get one term. Take what I tell you, Sheldon. I will tell you that.
All right, my friend.
Bye-bye.
Thank you so very much. 440-7377. That's 440-7377. No, we didn't finish with that one, that they said more.
You tell us though, in your own humble opinion.
We're gonna give the precedence to the phone calls. Hello, good night.
Hello, good night.
Good night. Go right ahead, caller. You're live.
Yes, so as you were saying, you are quite correct, as if somebody choose to join, but just the same that the union should give that worker the option. Because if the workers are not aware of that, and let me just go as so close and so technical to the aspect what I have seen going on here, so far into the construction industry. Now, you have internationally A-class qualified plumbers, electrician, block layers, construction worker, however you might call them, internationally certified men that work here in Grenada, right? We have different class of all of them. And at the same time, you have different level of aspect in the criteria of the work in all of them. Right? Are you with me so far?
Yes, yes.
Now, one of the biggest problem here, and here what I noticed, and look at this. You see that massive project that we on the field there? I bet you my last bottom dollar. At least 47% of you workers there, or let's say 60% is foreigner. And in order to tell you, the Grenadian workers are not skilled. So these men coming from foreign, because the construction workers are not unionized and they don't want nobody to defend them, these companies could bring in anybody from anywhere instead of employing their own Grenadian. So when a company say invest $10 million in Grenada, you only invest $1 million. All the US in labor going back outside. You understand? Because they bring all the professional people, they pay them in US, and they pay the Grenadian in minimum wage $EC. Because that is what the government of Grenada stipulate, to pay them in minimum wage. So you're actually programming the people from foreign to come and pay your own Grenadian people. in minimum wage. You understand? When you know that is not even the criteria what they're working for. You see how dishonest and disarrangement the places? And I have seen that personally. I have seen that.
Well,
look at a new hotel just open. I have seen that. Look at some other construction about to finish. I've seen it. Well, and I just been there and done that and keep on moving from place to place because as soon as I see shippiness like that, I out of it.
Well, here's what caller, because you had an opportunity to call earlier already. You want to give some others the opportunity now. But myself and yourself will have a wider discussion on this issue. And possibly when we have a program either next week or a week after, we could take a half hour or so and delve deeper into this issue. Because what you're speaking about is very important.
Yeah, because
hold on. I don't want to go too much further on it because there are others trying to get
let me just say one more thing.
Yeah.
When you go to Canada, let's say on the Apple Farm project, whichever project you go, depending on the behalf of the government, because I work in foreign area, and when we go, when they say, where is the Grenadian representative for Liva? Nobody in there. Where is the Chinese representative? Where is the Mexican representative? Everybody except Grenada have a representative. Every Jamaican representative we have.
Well, as I said, caller, let's not go too deep into it now. We'll discuss that further. It's very important. It's very, very important. It is in line with what we're discussing tonight, but I have limited amount of time. You had an opportunity before, so we want to give some others the opportunity to call us.
No problem.
All right. Thank you so very much, my brother.
All right.
All right. Thank you. Yes, indeed. 4407377. But yeah, we want to hear what Jude Bernard saying.
Who work in the same places with them. I would like you to tell us, though, in your own humble opinion, and I don't know if you've done any polls, have the workers or your members, are they better off today or worse today than they were 2 years ago? That's a fundamental question. All you're saying is quite correct. Are they better off today or are they worse off today? What are the new threats they face now that they never faced before? And if you'll be honest, and probably if you can find it from your members, because I feel that your point are well taken, but the tone could be a bit more conciliatory. When you consider what this government has done, they may have overpromised with all good intentions in naivety to deliver on certain things which now they're discovering probably.
So folks, you realize what Mr. Jude Bernard just said there? He accused this government of being naive and overpromising. Jude, don't let them men hear you saying that about them, you know. Jude Bernard just called this sitting administration, his friends. Yeah? He just called them naive and accused them of overpromising. You have to listen when these fellas talking, you know. They say a lot of things.
What this government has done, they may have overpromised with all good intentions in naivety. Government has done. They may have overpromised with all good intentions in naivety to deliver on certain things which now they're discovering probably had not researched enough and they can't deliver as they would like. They may have overpromised, but to me the tone is bothering because it seems as though it's a negative that we're hearing, and then by the way they did something here. Please tell us, are they better off today or worse than they were 2 years ago?
Thank you, caller. Thank you so much. Respond to the caller.
Caller, good morning, sir. I do recognize you and thank you for calling. I'm a little amused because your preamble literally suggests to this nation that because there were problems yesterday, and because, as we all know, the problems that we are confronting as a country now are not new, largely. They're generational. They've existed. I, representing a union, have been on these airwaves for the last, going on 6 years. Sir, you had no concern with my tone previously. You endorsed it, you applauded it, you personally embraced it. I am not here as a cheerleader for the NDC administration. Where government does good, Union is prepared and happy to say that. But I'm here to advocate and to speak on behalf of the members that I represent. I'm here today to speak about lack of regularization and pension reform, which is threatening workers. That's what I'm here to do. I'm not too concerned about if you're happy with whether my tone is conciliatory or not. Sir, there are enough cheerleaders. You are one of them for this administration. Why can't I be a cheerleader for the people that I have sworn to represent? Allow me to do that. Thank you very much. Sir.
We do have another caller.
Yes, indeed. Well, Brother Jude, I don't have to say nothing again. You get answered there. We have a caller on the line. Hello, good evening.
Hey, Brother Sheldon. Good evening to you.
Good evening, brother. How are you?
I'm wonderful. Doing good.
Go right ahead.
I really love this thing, you know. You know, there was a scripture that says, he that is righteous, let him be righteous still. He that is just, let him be just still. You know, listening all these voices of these dear beloved Grenadians. I mean, I know they mean well and they want to see things go the right way and all of that. Look, listen to Jude Bernard. Listen to Sister Daisy Hazard. You know, and he's talking of a voice, yeah? And I love the response that she gave to him. You know? What was it before? You know, he had loved the voice before. But anyway, Brother Sheldon, question, because I'm baffled. The Prime Minister said when Dr. Bob asked him the question about the money and so on of development bank, did he say based on his opinion or according to his view? Something to that effect, right?
Even if he said his opinion or his view, he was still wrong. Because
Right,
his opinion has to be based on fact.
And we need to pound that. Listen, we need to really dredge that. We need to hit that harder and harder and harder and call for the resignation because...
And hold on, Pastor, remember as well, prior to the election, he was saying something totally different in relation to the GDP. I don't have that clip, I'll organize it. But he was saying something totally different in relation to the GDP, how the GDP has to be used for the farmers, for the fishermen, for the people with the small business. Now he's in government. Now he's in government. It's for politicians and nothing should bar them and so on. His opinion seems to be evolving over a period of time, and it's evolving in the wrong direction.
Right. So my question, if we were to just go out and just do everything according to our opinion, this place is going to be a lot. I mean, there'll be no law, no decency in this country. You know? No decency. Everybody doing things haywire. You see? So he needs to recognize, our Prime Minister, sorry for saying he, our Honorable Prime Minister, need to recognize that what he is saying and what he is doing is not according to what is written. It's just based on his view and that what he didn't even say is conviction. Based on his opinion, the law rides over our opinion.
And he's a legal, hold on, he's also a legal person. So he can give a legal opinion. As a lawyer, he can give a legal opinion in relation to this. So it is even worse. I could give an opinion. I'm not a lawyer. He's a lawyer and he's giving an opinion as a lawyer in relation to something that there's legislation saying is wrong.
Yeah.
And he's saying it's right.
but we, I mean, I can understand what is there people really thinking. What are they thinking? I mean, they just want to make this place a lawless island. They just want to do their own thing based on their own view and conviction is right for them. When the law says that it's so we have to really get to the bottom of this. We have to really press this and let that and watch Mr. William Honorable Andy Williams is not an ordinary person. The man is a man of the state. A matter of fact, he's our acting prime minister. Yeah? I don't, listen, we really need to get up and press this harder, you know. Really, we need to press this harder. You know, when you listen to this, they're not objective. I don't know what they are going to teach, what they are teaching our young people. They are teaching them to be rebellious against the state, rebellious against authority. And we've been saying that to them from time and time again to stop that, because Grenada is belonging to the Grenadian people. And if it is good for some persons, why can't it not be good for somebody else too? You see? So, brother, thank you. And listen, just keep on going. Just keep on going.
All right.
We have the odds to fight. We have the odds to fight, you know, but let's keep on going.
Thank you so very much.
In the name of the Almighty.
Yes, indeed. Thank you so very much, Pastor.
Yes, my brother. You're welcome.
And folks, I think we have another caller. Which line is it? Yeah, this one. Right, yeah. We have a call online. Hello, good night.
Sheldon.
Yes, good night.
Good night. How are you doing?
Hey, I'm good. How are you?
Well, I'm there.
All right, you
taking
go
in
right
the guys
ahead.
and listening to the program. You know, Sheldon, when I look around, it's only when Dr. Kit is in office, those union houses. Only when NNP is in office, those unions have voices. And after that, or right about now, you can't hear them. Something has to really hit them hard for you to hear the voice. When you look at what's going on, like, what is the right name for the police force? Could you tell me?
I'm trying to remember by the Constitution. I believe it's the Royal Grenada Police Force.
Mm-hmm.
I think so. I have to double check. The Constitution has a specific name for it.
It used to be the Grenada Royal Police Force, but right about now, I feel like the Grenada NDC Police Force, because I don't know, as they turn everybody head.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what's really going on. You know, there is a lot of things since this government reached into office. All kind of things going on. People head turning, the mind turning. I don't know. And we have so much defenders. I know defender dead already, but I don't know. I remember a year when Brother Tillman was in office, tell the Grenadian people to defend it, come out and defend the party, so as if that going on still. But till he was a cake man.
But
so I don't know what's going on.
In my personal opinion, I believe Mr. Tillman Thomas is one of the biggest hypocrites in Grenada, but that's just my view. I believe Mr. Tillman Thomas is one of the biggest hypocrites in the state of Grenada.
Thank you.
Because he has nothing to say in relation to all of these issues that surround the NDC government, simply because it's an NDC government. He would have been on every radio and television program recently. He found himself on a program to speak on a particular issue connected to myself. Yet still, he have nothing to say about Andy Williams illegally getting money from the GDB. He has nothing to say about other government ministers illegally getting money from the GDB. He has nothing to say about who has been made the cabinet secretary and the fact that this person was under investigation in relation to goods illegally being removed from the port. This is the person that has been put in charge of the public service. So he's a hypocrite.
They're working undercover as advisors. There is a lot working undercover as advisors. So don't bother with dealing with the two-sided and hypocrite.
Okay. All right, my dear. You enjoy the rest of your night. Oops, yeah, there God. 440-7377, 347-3293. Oh, God, I missed a couple calls here. Yes, so folks, call back. 440-737, 347-329-3101. So give us a call. Yeah, if the Prime Minister is saying something, he's a lawyer, and he's giving an opinion in relation to something to which there's legislation attached. That is not a normal, average citizen giving an input in relation to that. As far as I'm concerned, that's a legal perspective in relation to the issue. We've got a call online. Hello, good night.
Yes. Good evening, Sheldon, and how are you?
Hey, I'm quite fine. How are you doing?
I'm good, thanks. I'm just here listening to the program. I'm an avid listener to this program. And all the other programs, like the Master Call, James and Jenny. And I must say, there is a wealth of information that comes out from this program. My take is, how much of it is filtering down to the local man on the street? Because you're hearing the level of hypocrisy now. Everybody is coming out and saying, this is what has happened. Back then when NMP was in office and the things that they were saying, now NDC is on the same tune with the NMP saying this cannot be done or else we will bankrupt this and what have you. My thing is, personally, is all the information getting to the small man in the street? Because clearly, you could see this government is a waste of time. Now, you just finished talk about our ex-Prime Minister, Tillman Thomas, which is somebody that I have loved. I never supported him, right? But I always had great respect for this man. But when he went on to the Kellen Bob report, and he said to the nation and the world that the so-called poor and vulnerable, who are you referring to? Now, the so-called poor and vulnerable once voted you in office. So what are you trying to tell me? You don't depend, the current government don't want to go back in office and get the vote and the support from the same poor and vulnerable? This is heartbreaking.
Caller,
and this is what I cannot understand.
Caller, you want me to tell you something?
Yeah?
During the interview that the Minister of Finance did on GBN on Wednesday, he also made that exact statement, the so-called poor and vulnerable. He made the statement as well. Yeah.
So okay, I am poor and vulnerable. I don't have. You're going to come in front of me during the next 3 years' time, and I will remind you of that statement. What are you hoping to tell me to get my vote? Huh? Tell me about it. Not everybody's at the same level. Not everybody in a classroom with 40, 45 students learn at the same time. The room to success, right, is always space at the top. The ladder to success is always never crowded at the top. On your way down, you help your brothers and sisters, right? So I just think the NDC government, I wish, I could support them. I'm telling you, I just wish I could support them. I'm telling you straight up, I can't. Really and truly. Because I don't like the behavior. And the thing that is bothering me, the supporters is here. They're listening, They are listening.
Oh, they're tuned in.
We're making the corrections. They will still come back and defend them. Oh, my God. Sheldon. Yeah? But continue the fight. Dr. Mitchell, don't give up. The little manje popot and nana tear they making in Parliament. Yeah? Real nana tear, you understand? Right? Every time this man is about to speak, there is always interruptions. Whereas Big Dog could call it in Parliament, commoners could call it in Parliament. But when this man start to speak, there is always interruption. But we are paying attention. We are paying attention. And I just wish the NDC supporters, the ministers, just correct this statement. Oh God, you're not big to say, I'm sorry, I made a mistake. We could accept that. They don't continue to lie. Sheldon, good night.
Thank you so very much, caller. And callers, don't be a stranger to the program, because we have several of you tonight have been first-time callers, and we'd like you to continue calling the program. Yes, indeed. And folks, remember, it's Mr. Jude Bernard that says that they overpromise. And what do you call them again? There was a word that he called them. Yeah, there's not. Remember, you see that say that about them, eh? 440-737-7, 347-329-3101. We have roughly, we have some time, man. Yeah, we're talking tonight. Yeah, we're talking tonight. Yes, it is talking points, and we're talking tonight. Some people saying that they lose that. No, I've lost my respect for Mr. Tillman Thomas a long time ago. I'm not ashamed to say I've lost all the little bit I had for him. I lose that a long time ago. I ain't ashamed to say that. Yeah, I lost my respect for him. 440-7377 and 347-329-3101. Let me see if I can pull this one up, because I just want to remind you all of something that was said last night. Yeah, I just want to remind you all. Where is it? Yeah, it is somewhere here. Yeah, okay, yeah. So let me just remind you all of something that we played last night. We want to remind you all because the weekend. So just remember that the Minister of Finance say,
the economy, as we said, even though people out there are saying that they don't see it trickling down to the common man on the street, is moving. And you can get that information from just going to the shops.
Just going to the shops, eh? Just remember, the minister say things good, right?
Is moving. And you can get that information from just going to the shops. And they will tell you that, for example, having basically moved from monthly payment of salary to a bi-monthly payment of salary, there is a lot more movements in the communities and so on. There are those who want to basically discredit that, and I don't have a problem in saying what. Everyone has an opinion. But I can tell the general population without a doubt that Grenada is moving and moving forward.
All right.
The economy moving and it moving forward. Oh, by Mr. Quote. The economy moving and it moving forward. Yeah. Folks, July 14th, remember the New National Party will be having its massive bingo taking place in Victoria Park. Over $100,000 in prizes, including, a Suzuki Ignis vehicle. Yeah, you might see somebody pushing that vehicle the day after the bingo, But the person could be you, right? Nice. So make sure that you head on up to the activity. Buses are available island-wide. Yeah, just contact the various people at the constituencies in case you're not sure for your area who is the constituency lead during the week next week, not tomorrow, but during the week next week. Anytime after 8:39, you can contact the New National Party main office, 440-1875, 440-1876, and get the number for whoever is the constituency lead for the area. We have a call online. Hello, good night.
Good night, Sheldon.
Hi, good night.
I'm proud of you, Sheldon. I'm proud of you.
Thank you.
I don't know because I don't know because they say you had to pay that money. First time I see you push that like that, and that is that like I don't know, you get a momentum. You get a momentum, and which I listen to you every night in my vehicle. I put data just to listen to you, even though I miss you. I listen to you when I'm driving to go to work on the morning time. You understand?
Yes, thank you.
You're doing very well. You're doing very well. And I think I have a drink for you.
Okay,
I have a drink for you.
We go meet for that one.
I'm giving you a drink.
No problem.
You're walking. And that is what we need in the NNP party. That is what we need. You know what I figure out, Sheldon? I figure we should do some flyers. We should do some flyers in terms of, because there's a lot of people who don't listen to the program. And what I'm saying is the whole thing about the thing what the money what the government
GDP
using. People don't really check on that. Some people don't really bother with that. If people died, people who want to know what's taking place in the country. So we have to try and do some flyers because those flyers will be from the government of Grenada. You understand? Those flyers will be from the government of Grenada. When they say that the laws that ministers are supposed to get loan from the bank, right?
Then you have to print some of them because we're getting it from wherever we're getting it from, and that is the truth. When the Prime Minister saying that is not true, we could get some flyers and stick it up on telephone posts and bring it in different villages. Somebody must pick it up and read it to know what's taking place in the country. Because when people go on a daily business during the day, they don't have time to listen to your program. If people are accustomed to listening to your program, we listen to your program. But we have to send that thing further. You understand? We have to send that thing further. And tell Jude Bernard, his day is coming. His day is coming with the behavior. He going to be the one who will be demonstrating about this government. Because he don't get the promise yet, you know. He don't get the promise yet. He don't get the promise yet. Yeah, everybody get the promise, but he don't get it yet, you know. Yes, he wants to say things, but he don't know what to say. Anyways.
All right, Colin. 10 o'clock, so I gotta go. Right, okay, brother. Okay. Thank you so very much. And folks, that's the second caller for the night that has recommended that we find a means of getting the information out even more. One thing I like to do is listen to advice from people when they say to do something. So yes, we may be here on the program and people who are listening to the program get that information, but there are many others out there who are not receiving the information. And you heard a lady call earlier and she said, yes, I'm getting the information here, but what about the average person out there who may not listen to this program, may not have the ability to listen to the program? How do we get the information to them? And now we have the final caller there speaking about doing flyers and so on and getting that information out to more people that way. And as I said, I like to listen and take advice in relation to these things. So callers, be assured that together with the team, we'll work towards getting this information out. Whether it's GDB or any of the other issues, we'll work towards getting that out. Folks, that is all the time we've got for Talking Points tonight. It has been a wonderful week being here with you. And in fact, again, impetus feeling to do a program next week, Friday, but I know the challenge is, well, if it's sorted out, we'll try. But as I said, 1 week in, 1 week out with the Friday night programs. And in everything you say and do it safe and secure. I want to be speaking to and with you and not about you. Reminder on two very important things. Outside of, remember, there's the breakfast tomorrow. Town of St. George, Honorable Peter David and the team out there at the Resource Center in River Road. They're there from 6 a.m. And also the St. David Constituency branch. They have their breakfast and luncheon. That starts at 6 at the Constituency branch up there as well. Now, outside of that, two things. Remember, there's a possibility of some bad weather over the next 48 hours or so. Going into Monday, most likely is when they predict that it will be passing along through the islands on Monday. That's when the prediction is. So we've got to be careful. If you've got to make sure that you have enough supplies in case anything happens. We're not saying something will happen, but just in case that you have your supplies and that you're ready for any eventuality. Also, there continues to be an increase in gastroenteritis. You've got to make sure that your food stuff is covered properly, that you're cleaning your counters and your utensils are cleaned properly and everything, and that you handle food carefully, especially for the young ones and the elderly, because especially when it comes to the little children and it comes to the elderly, they're a bit weaker, and a case of gastroenteritis can be fatal, especially when they become dehydrated. So you've got to be very, very, very careful when it comes to your drinking water, your utensils, your food stuff. Don't just take up fruits and eat anything. Wash them properly, all of that. Not just wash it, wash them properly. All right, because we are seeing increasing numbers of the gastroenteritis and other noroviruses and so that are in circulation. We also have some bad colds in circulation and so on as well. All right, folks, love each and every one of you. And let me play this one for Teacher Mary. Yeah, let me play a song for Teacher Mary tonight, man. Yeah, let me give her one as we go in.
Well, I know about John Doe, but I never heard about Olan. Maybe that's his brother. They say his name is Olan. And he is the them right hand? Is he making all decisions as to how this country's governed? People want to know where he come out, so with a son named though, him they never knew. Olan doesn't care about poor people. He do as he please. Maybe he's a PM too. Tell me, who send home them e-monies? And who take back the monies? Who running all them vendors? Poor people trying to make $1. Every decision, every law that pass, Mr. Doe in charge. Olan is the boss, the boss, the boss. They say he's a very fair skin, very fair skin man. But I don't know him. But where he come out, sir? Jubilee celebrations, 50 years a grand occasion. People all over the nation preparing to feel that sense of freedom. But right before the day, news come out and say, no music can play, no session, no way. Olan made it clear to the whole nation. He wanted all eyes zooming on the stadium. Boy, you're mad, who held the country hostage and take away we privilege. Put us under lock and key. Hard us like some independent zombies. Every decision, every law that pass, Mr. Doe in charge. Olan is the boss, the real boss. Well, and where you get all this power from? Is he the people vote for to lead? Where you come out, sir? People asking how could one man hold so much different positions? They say his salary is about 30 grand a month. Olan is the chief in command. Even ministers who did win this seat with the powers he